Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Well, it's a Friday edition of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We got Damian Perez behind the glass today. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, December the 5th, 2025. A lot of things to do today. You had Thursday Night Football last night, Cowboys-Lions. You got Conference Championship weekend tomorrow and tonight, I guess, with the American and the Sun Belt. James Madison taking on Troy. That's 8 and 9:30, so stay tuned for that. On top of that, you got good college basketball, great NFL on Sunday. It's a great weekend. And on top of that, you had the World Cup draw on Fox earlier today, which started at 12. You know what the funny part is? It started at, I think, like 11:30 or 12, where they did the red carpet. They're doing this. There's a big award ceremony. It's like the Oscars. They did about 45 minutes of nonsense, and then they had all the world leaders come out and select the ball that had, where they take out the country name. And shocker, the Canadian guy, first of all, I didn't realize that Trudeau was out. That's news to me.
Prime Minister.
Yeah, Prime Minister Trudeau's out. I didn't realize that. So that he selected Canada, the Mexican president selected Mexico, and then Donald Trump selected the United States. And they did a whole thing on that. They went to commercial, then they went to the studio desk to break it down, even though there was nothing to break down. And then they had Kevin Hart, another concert, back to Kevin Hart, another concert, and then they did the group stage.
So Damian Perez is our producer here at the City Place Studios, downtown West Palm Beach. Damian is very much so in the know on world football, just like me. Clearly, Colin has never watched a FIFA event before. It's a spectacle.
Hold on.
Colin, it's a spectacle.
This was nonsense. This
was
was
a spectacle.
Load of crap. Select the teams, please.
Donald Trump won the Peace Award as well, the first of its kind. I mean, it was a whole spectacle. It was a whole spectacle.
Utter waste of time. 5 different concerts. You have a studio breakdown. It's funny. They had the United States, Canada, and Mexico get their respective groups and nothing else. We knew they were pot 1. We knew they were going to be in their own groups, and they were breaking it down in the studio desk. Guys, what are we breaking down? There's nothing to talk about.
What, you didn't want to hear the great Thierry Henry break down United States, Mexican, and Canadian soccer, Kyle? Listen, you're an Arsenal fan. That's one of your goats, Thierry Henry.
My Gunners.
Yeah, he's arguably one of their best players ever.
So a couple things we got to get into. Number one, to put things into perspective, the United States have their official group, Group D. United States, Paraguay, Australia. Then they have one of the final qualifying winners, which is likely going to be Turkey.
Turkey. You got Romania, Slovakia. I think any of those teams will probably be the second team within it. I am definitely disrespecting Paraguay a bit. Definitely disrespecting Australia. But if Turkey comes out like how I think they are, by the way, Damian, remember Turkey kicked our butt in a friendly about 2 months ago. Granted, we weren't full strength. It's going to be the United States and probably the winner of that UEFA.
So one thing we like. I'll ask the questions. We like this grouping for the United States. This is an A-plus grouping.
A-plus group, and Damian, I'm going to take it a step further. The United States needs to win this group. Like, obviously, the top 2 teams advance. There are 32 teams in the knockout.
Expanded this year.
It's going to be very hard not to make but Damian, as a diehard United States men's national team, I want to own this group.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I want to own this group.
To your point, I think if you pull up Hard Rock Bet, and if the odds are there, I think the USA would be the clear favorites.
Right. So a couple things to establish. World Cup's going to be in the United States or in the continental North America next summer. And so that means Mexico has a couple different host locations. They have Monterrey, Guadalajara, and Mexico City. You have Vancouver, you have Toronto, you have a number of different spots, and then all throughout the United States. So this year, because there's so many host cities, they expanded the World Cup. It used to be 32 teams. It's now 48 teams. It used to be 16 in that initial knockout stage. It is now going to be 32. So it's going to be 12 different groups from A through L. Top 2 teams in each group are going to move on. And then 8 of the 12 groupings, the third-place teams, the top 8 of the 12 will move on to the knockout stage as well. And that's 16 teams get eliminated after the group stage.
Absolutely. And I think as far as the actual groups, Damian, the Mickey Mouse groups, a.k.a. the groups that are going to be very easy for, the said Pot 1 teams. Group A with Mexico, Group D with the United States, and then Group J. I mean, geez, do they want Lionel Messi in the knockout round?
So that's Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan.
Yeah, that's by far the biggest difference.
They will not lose. And granted, Damien's really hooked into CONMEBOL soccer, him being an Uruguayo fan. Argentina is the best team in the world. I mean, it's not even close. They're the world number 1, and it's not even close. But Algeria, Austria, and Jordan is a disgrace of a group. Austria's decent. They'll be the second team out of there, but it's a disgrace of a group.
So they'll lose 3-0 to Argentina,
correct,
though.
But they'll make the knockout
so
out of the fall.
That grouping will not have a third-place team move on.
God, no.
And Group B is not that good either, right? With Switzerland, Canada, Qatar, because Canada is that Pot 1 team, and they almost stink up the group a little bit because they're not worthy. And
Damien, keep in mind, one of Canada's best players, Alphonso Davies, he's been dealing with an injury for Bayern Munich all year. Jonathan David isn't having the season that I think would like to have at Juventus, only scoring a couple times in 18 fixtures. But at the same time, Italy and Switzerland, that's my best guess. Now, Colin, keep in mind, as an Italian soccer fan, Italy has to qualify.
They have to qualify.
And also, the match number 1, I'm not worried about. But if they win match number 1, like how I think they are in the qualification process, they have to go at Wales.
Yeah,
that's a tough fixture.
They're in a play-in situation.
Qualified before?
Oh, yeah. Dude, they had Gareth Bale, one of the best,
Northern
forwards.
Ireland was in their first qualification year opportunity, correct? Northern Ireland's never qualified before.
Will Giggs on fire. Your defense is terrified.
I don't think they have. I think Ireland has, but not Northern Ireland.
Is it the song dun-na-na-na-na-na? Isn't that off of the Northern Ireland player Will Griggs? Am I wrong on that? We'll search that. Regardless,
I'm pretty sure, the Northern Ireland, this would be their first go-around if they qualify.
I thought they were in. Maybe that's the actual Republic of Ireland. But regardless, Colin, I think in Group B, Italy and Switzerland, I see Canada being the only Pot 1 team not going to the knockout stage.
Especially, you think they'll get eliminated from this group?
Dude, Switzerland is solid. Switzerland's a
Qatar stinks. Qatar stinks.
That's a free 3-0 win. But the teams of Italy and Switzerland, dude, don't sleep on Switzerland. They played well in the European Cup. They played well in all that. I'm telling you, I think Canada is probably the team that's the Pot 1 team not to make it. So that's an interesting group. I am begging my Italians to make it. Colin, if the Italians don't make it, it'll be their 3rd straight World Cup that they've missed.
All right, call me if I'm wrong. Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. That is Fox Sports app, no TV coverage. That group stinks.
Now,
there is nothing interesting in that
Colin,
group.
Belgium is Penn State. Belgium is James Franklin.
That's a perfect comparison.
Never won a big fixture. They never won anything with Eden Hazard in the early 2000s. They've wasted Kevin De Bruyne's career and Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, it's
they
not a
got
big-time
great
group.
young players in Yeremy Doku and company. But Belgium is going to come out of that group because of how bad it is. Listen, I wouldn't sleep on Iran. They dig in. Remember, the United States played Iran in Qatar, and it took a pulley goat miracle.
I remember that game.
Egypt's another one. They got Mohamed Salah. They got Marmoush.
Yeah, and Marmoush is solid. Plays for Manchester City. Salah's having a stinker in Liverpool this year, but did he win Ballon d'Or last year? I believe he did. Regardless if he didn't. Egypt, they never seem to put it together come World Cup. That's why I'm out on
Never
that.
been a threat.
They never have put it together in a World Cup. I see Belgium and Iran coming out of that group.
Morocco's the team out of Africa.
Solid. The best AFCON team. I think
they're a
Damien
really
would
good
agree
team.
with me.
They're a really good team.
They're in Group C with Brazil, Haiti, Morocco, and then Scotland, who's a dangerous Pot 3 team too.
The
as well,
hardest,
right?
in my opinion, the 3 hardest groups, Group L, Group C. I disagree on it, but people say Group I. People are waxing poetically about Group I. I think L and C are significantly harder.
So Group L is England, Croatia. Croatia was the number 10, should have been a Pot 1 team, but because Canada and Mexico and the United States automatically qualified, Croatia gets bumped down.
One of the final 4 teams of the last World Cup, Croatia.
Right, and they're always a good World Cup team.
Correct.
So England, who obviously got the last grouping stage out of the Pot 1 teams, one of the top-ranked teams, they got Croatia, they got Ghana, and Panama. And then, as you mentioned, Group C, which is Brazil, which is always going to be a formidable opponent.
I'm a fair-weather Brazil fan. Love that team.
And then Morocco, Scotland, who's going to be a dangerous team, as everybody's
How about
telling
that?
me.
You saw how they got in, too, Damien Perez, with the game-winning goal at the death. Former United reject Scott McTominay, who's playing for Napoli.
I did see that play.
Yeah, McTominay has been unbelievable since he went over to the Italian league.
All right, and then Haiti was that last team. And then you said Group I, which you're not high on, Damien.
Not very much so.
Damien,
I honestly think that's the hardest group.
France, Senegal, Norway. Norway was a pot 3. Everybody called them the bracket buster.
I'm not buying Norway. It's that
Norway
simple.
has one of the best players in the
Yeah,
world.
they have Holland, right?
Yeah, Haaland.
They got
Erling
Holland. They got Martin Odegaard. They got Sorloth. They got a lot of players. Talk about a team that's never put it together in a World Cup. Usually they don't get out of the qualifications.
But they'll be annoying.
We'll see. I don't believe it. I think Holland is great.
And Senegal is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Senegal's got a ton
That's
of talent.
probably
Senegal, which
one
is,
of the
by
best
way,
African
a
teams.
French-speaking
The three-
African country playing the French, too.
The 3 best out of AFCON, in my opinion, Morocco, Ghana, and Senegal.
Yep.
I probably would put Ghana over Senegal, but people disagree with me on that, Kyle. I think France runs away with that. The matchup, or rather the play-in of, I believe it's Syria, Iraq, and another Middle East. That they're going to finish dead last. They'll finish dead last.
But this is going to be that's probably going to be a 3-bid group.
I like I said, I got to see it to believe it with Norway. I know they set records, Colin, in the UEFA qualification. I got to see it to believe it, Dame.
Do you guys like the fact that the World Cup has expanded it to 48 teams and then therefore 32 in the knockout stage?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah, it takes a lot away.
Not
it takes a
really.
lot
It's
away.
just one extra round in the knockout stage. Keep that in mind.
And
It's one extra game for everybody.
Damien, I don't want to speak for you, but I've been watching the World Cup closely since about 2002.
Yeah.
This is way too many teams, dude. I think it's way too many. Now, granted, I'm an Italian football
It's
fan.
as many host cities as the World
Italy,
Cup's ever
Damien,
seen.
if Italy does not make it this year,
That'd be a tragedy.
I am throwing my hands up. Throwing my hands up at the Italian Federation. I mean, it would be an absolute disgrace to not see the Italians in the U. 3 in a row. 3 in a row. And it's all because, and Colin, you know why I hate Norway so much and why I'm not buying them is because Italy was in their UEFA group. And that's why Italy doesn't have a for sure spot is because of, Holland and company scoring 9 goals in every single godforsaken game that they played. I'm not buying them.
I'm in on
Regardless.
Norway. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in too. I would watch out with Norway.
and
And
you gotta-
France is always going to be a great World Cup.
You got to realize, I'm a Manchester United man. I can't root for Holland.
France
I
is one
just
of the
can't do it.
favorites for sure.
I can't do Holland.
Now, in terms of some other groups that we got to
France
talk
is
about,
unreal,
what do we
Colin.
think about Group H? That's Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay.
Damien, your Uruguay show, I'll let you speak on this.
This should be Spain and Uruguay.
Just that. No,
Yeah,
not a
clear.
three-bid group.
Uh,
Remember, 8 of the 12. You got to find 4 where there's not going to be a third team out of
Saudi Arabia would have to tie or beat Spain or Uruguay, and that would be very tough.
Keep in mind, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in their first fixture in the World Cup in
did.
Qatar.
Oh, that's right. I remember that
They beat
game.
Argentina
I remember that game.
in the group stage, and then Argentina
Remember that
continued
match.
to win every game. But I'm with Damien. This is Spain and Uruguay show.
What about Netherlands and Japan? Is underrated? Yes
They
or
are
no?
very underrated. Very underrated. They play together.
They're a really good
They
team.
beat
Japan.
Germany in the last World Cup in the knockout stage.
Do all those guys play in European leagues, or do they
A
play
lot
in
of
Asian
them do.
leagues?
A lot of them do.
Okay.
A
I
lot
would
of them
say-
play in their own leagues, though.
They play in
Japan
Asian
Japan
leagues,
League.
yeah.
But there are about 3 to 4 players in that 11 that play in La Liga, Prem,
In the top leagues
in
in
the
the
top leagues in the world. Correct. It's similar to the United States. The United States has people who play overseas, but they also have a lot of good talent that plays in the
It's all
MLS.
about having the money to keep
Correct.
players there.
Now, boys, can I talk about Netherlands a bit?
Japan's a proud country too. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's hard to pry those guys away.
I think Netherlands, Damien, they're going to get out because to Colin's point, everybody gets out.
Now this is Group F: Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia,
Correct.
and then a winner.
I see Netherlands taking a step back. Virgil van Dijk's older. Memphis Depay is older. A lot of their players, Javi Simmons isn't in form right now
Neither
for
is
Tottenham.
Gakpo.
So this is a team that usually gets to the Final Four, at least the Elite Eight. I can see them taking a step back once we get to the knockout stage. I'm interested to see how they come together because they're an older bunch now.
Yep. And they had that classic against Argentina in the last World Cup where
Correct.
Argentina defeated them in
And,
penalties.
and a lot of people were saying the fix was in on that game.
All the United States games will be in L.A. and Seattle. The other Group D games will be in Vancouver, or those West Coast cities, San Francisco. Do you like that?
Damien, I personally had an issue with it because I'm an East Coaster. Technically Ohio, growing up in Cleveland, East Coaster.
And most of the country is East Coast.
And that's but they requested it. The Federation, our United States Federation requested it.
I think that's where you have the biggest fan bases.
That's
Like,
what-
if you look at the LAFC fan base, like, they probably have one of the bigger fan bases in the MLS. So
Do you
they
think that makes a
probably.
difference? You don't think that the whole country is going to get behind it? At that point in the biggest World Cup probably
What
ever.
time are these games? I was looking forward to
Now-
these. Hear me out on this, Colin. I was looking forward to these games being prime time. Like, obviously, you're going to have
Now you're
afternoon
speaking
games.
my language. All
But,
right.
like, I was looking forward to having a couple of fixtures, big fixtures at 6, 7 o'clock when
Yeah,
we're
those
off
will
of
be
work.
early.
That will be the case. Remember, Friday the 12th, the USA's first game, LA. It's going to be USA versus Paraguay. That is June 12th, 2026. Group D, match 1 at LA. The Group B will be at Toronto. That's Canada's first game. That'll be in Toronto. That'll be at 2 o'clock. That'll be a 2 o'clock game.
Too many
That'll be
times.
2 o'clock. The other one will be 5, if I had to guess.
Like, as a world football fan that lives on this side of the hemisphere, I wanted the Europeans to get a little taste of what I have to do. I miss United play every friggin' midweek because it's at 3 o'clock. I miss all these World Cup games because we got jobs.
So you want to do it out of spite?
I
so
do,
everybody else
damn
is-
it. I do.
Well,
all right?
Australia's going to
It's
get
here.
screwed
It's
here.
here this year.
Australia's going to get
Yeah, but the
screwed here.
president-
They
President's
get screwed no
European
matter
at the
what.
end of the
Colin,
day.
they get screwed no matter what.
Yeah, right.
Them in New Zealand have always gotten screwed with all these pairings, whatever. But at the same time, Dame, you know they're going to have these fixtures early on in the day.
The United States will be the biggest and best time slot on Fox every single week.
I
will promise you that right now.
But all I'm saying is I want England at 6 o'clock. And listen, I love my English brothers, okay? They're a great ally to the States. And I love English Premier League.
Give them a taste of their
But
medicine.
yeah. 6 o'clock.
Well, I'll tell you where they're going to
6
play.
o'clock.
I'll tell you where England's going to play. How about this? Group L, which is England's group, they're New York and Philadelphia. They're MetLife and Philly.
It'll be 2 o'clock start. It'll be a 2 o'clock
Right,
start.
and then Boston and Toronto. So there are a bunch of East Coast cities. There's going to be a lot of English there. So that's
They're great.
That's
By
gonna
the
travel,
way-
that's going to travel great.
By the
Yeah.
way,
And a lot of Croatians
best-
will travel for that. That'll be a great. That'll be
the
a
best
great
part
environment.
about tournaments like this, dude, do you remember the Euros in Germany? How great it was and how
Yes.
great of an atmosphere. Remember the guy with the saxophone going viral?
Yeah.
Like, I want those
The
scenes.
fan bases.
Yes, I can't wait to get the English over here. They're a great time.
And
All right.
to Colin's point, every team will be like in a hub in a sense. So
Yep.
all the fans will kind of culminate in that area, and it'll be just a bunch of English people
So
in when was it? Where was it? MetLife, around MetLife
Yeah.
in New York.
So speaking of England, Colin, they are the biggest like doomsday condescending fans you ever meet, and that's with every team, with the Prem, with the Three Lions. That's what they call their football club, the Three Lions. My brother and I were big listeners of this station called Talk Sport. Dude, they are. The sky is falling with the group that they got. By the way, Group L. The sky is falling.
Group L winner will be playing in Atlanta too in the first round of the knockout stage. They also got Toronto and Dallas. So I doubt they're going to put England in Dallas. I'd bet money that they'd either put England in Boston in their first match or Toronto. I'd be surprised if they went Dallas, but it's a big city. I
No.
could see that, but that's interesting.
Now, Dame, Group E, Germany low-key got a really Mickey Mouse group as well. This is flown under the radar for me. Ecuador solid, Caicedo and company. Caicedo, one of the best holding midfielders
That's
in
a
all
tough
of the
team to
world.
play against.
But at the same time, Curacao and Ivory Coast, like Ivory Coast, Drogba ain't walking through
Yeah.
that door, brother.
And
all right?
Cote d'Ivoire stinks.
That's Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Didier Drogba, one of the best strikers in Premier League history for Chelsea. He ain't walking through that door, brother.
Right.
Wilfried Zaha is about 40 years old playing for Charlotte. All right. So, and Curacao, Collins, the smallest country to ever make the World Cup. So give them a little credit. But if Germany struggles in that group, that'd be a disgrace. That'd be an absolute disgrace.
So the one thing I don't like about this, to talking about the expansion, not a lot of teams get eliminated.
Yeah, that's why we don't like it.
16 out of 48 get eliminated in the group
That's
stage.
why we don't like
You're
it.
doing the group stage for 2 weeks.
It takes a lot of that's why when I said it takes a lot away, that's
They
what it takes away from.
sacrifice the group stage for an extra round of knockout.
Right. That's
which
why
which we will say this is great once we get there. But for the group stage, you're thinking, all right, well, you could survive a bad loss and get away with it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's just too. There's too many teams. Like the knockout stage used to mean something. Listen to me, it's the first year that it's happening. But being one of the 16 teams used to mean something. Like the United States, and Damien, you'll back me up on this. We've been a pretty good World Cup team throughout the years. For us to make the knockout stage
Meant
is a
so
big
much.
deal.
Yeah, it was
and it
huge.
used to mean a lot to
Right.
be one of the 16 teams. Now it's just like, if you
Granted,
don't.
if you're talking about the United States, the goal is not just to make the knockout stage. The goal, you got to advance.
Well, it always has been, and this has been the last two World Cups now. It's been the golden generation with Pulley Goat, with McKinney, with Tyler Adams and company.
They've always had this World Cup circle.
Right, and it's always been about my problem is the United States men's national team, and hear me out on this. Let me let me complain a bit. It was about Qatar until it wasn't about Qatar. It was about Copa America until it wasn't about Copa America. Like, we do this every single tournament. It's, it was always about this tournament. But I'm sick of that. Win a damn game and go deep in the knockout stage. Enough of this. That's why you brought in.
No more. We can't push it now because
correct.
You got a
correct.
Home, yeah, you
correct.
Got a home,
it's
yeah.
all and Colin bringing in a big time world football manager like Maurizio Pochettino, and for the first time, Damian, I think in our federation's history, correct me if I'm wrong here, we brought in a non-United States man to coach the team. I think that shows you how important it is for the United States to have success and to not let the, quote, golden generation go to waste and just make the round of 32 and lose to a team.
Group D is interesting. That's the United States' group. Group D is interesting because the winner of that group in the first round of the knockout stage playing at Levi's Stadium in San Francisco. And Santa Clara, I should say.
And Group D is...
They're living exclusively on the West Coast.
And Group D is, to Colin's credit, the United States group.
They're exclusively on the West Coast.
I guess I'm one of the only ones in the country that don't like that, but whatever.
A couple interesting things, Damon, I want to get your reactions to. So they come out with the full schedule tomorrow of terms of where everybody plays. You know where United States, you know where Canada, you know where Mexico are going to play. Outside of that, you don't know who's playing when and what time where. You know the locations and what day and what stadium and what group. So I went through it a little bit because I like this stuff. This is travel schedules. The Portugal's group, right? Ronaldo's going to be 41 years old by the time we get to the next World Cup. To the upcoming World Cup. We're not going to see him again.
This is the last one.
This is it. So you're going to see Ronaldo, who, by the way, is in Group K. And Group K is in Guadalajara, Monterrey, and Houston. Basically for the entirety of the group stage.
So Mexico and Texas.
Right. And then the Group K winner is in Kansas City. So if that's Portugal, for example, they're going to be playing that first knockout stage in New York City. Now, I'll float you this one. Now, Argentina is another one. Everybody's wondering where Argentina is going to play. Argentina, the winners, I'll get to the winners in a second, but where they do play their group stage is Kansas City and Dallas and San Francisco.
I'm shocked by that.
So you're not going to get, remember, they can't determine
where
it's Argentina is going to be, but where does Group J winner play? Miami.
Hard Rock.
So that means that first knockout stage, let's assume that Argentina does win. You're going to see Messi and the Group H runner-up, which could be, Uruguayo.
Yep.
You could see them play Argentina at Hard Rock in that first knockout.
With that knowledge, any hope that Uruguayo could win the group? Can you guys go toe-to-toe with Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams and
to avoid Spain? Because you want to avoid Argentina in that first round.
But I also want to see because the third place teams comes into play. Does that necessarily mean that the winner of the groups don't play against third place teams?
The guys who get to deal with the third place. Group K winner deals with the third place team. That could be Portugal. Group B winner would deal with a third place team.
You said
as
B,
well.
Kyle, B?
Group B winner.
Okay.
So that means that's a valuable grouping because you got a takeable pot one in Canada, and you also get a third place team in the knockout stage.
Guys, Italy needs to get in. I'm about to freak out over here if Italy doesn't get in. All right. Anyway, keep going.
The other ones that get a third place team, the Group E winner gets a third place team. That could be Germany. And on top of that, Group I and Group A both get third place teams. So that could be France and Mexico.
Yeah, Norway. You get your kids Norway's, Group I as well.
So Group H is in a difficult spot because you got to deal with Argentina. Might be the best team of the entire tournament. You might have to deal with them first round of that knockout stage.
Yep. But the good thing is, talking from a Uruguay perspective, we play Argentina a lot. We know Argentina. They know us. We've actually beat them in Argentina in semifinals. Uruguay and Argentina, as much as Uruguay doesn't want to see Argentina, I know Argentina doesn't want to see Uruguay either.
Yeah, no, you're dead right on there. And the atmosphere around that stadium is going to be electric.
Yeah.
That'll be an electric atmosphere. My buddies and I have a saying, boys, that stadium's going to be rocking.
Group D also, United States, has a third place team. So United States, if they win that grouping, not only do you get an easy grouping, you get a third place team in the first round of the knockout.
Yep.
That's huge.
Argentina is one of the rare groupings that does not have a third place team. Remember, there's only 4 that don't get third place teams in that first round.
You guys want the conspiracy theory? You want the conspiracy theory for this World Cup? They're saying Ronaldo bent the knee. They're saying he went to the Oval Office, bent the knee to Donald Trump, and he's going to get the same treatment that Messi got in Qatar. And for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, let's just say if you didn't watch any of the 2022 World Cup, there are a lot of favorable calls, to say the least, that went Argentina's way.
I don't
so
think
that's the conspiracy theory.
Qatar is a corrupt country
Correct.
who corrupted their way to hosting the World Cup.
Correct.
And it's one of the more, I don't want to say the word, I'll say it, blood money type of tournaments that we've seen in some remnants.
You're not
Am I
wrong.
right or more, right? So
You're not wrong. But at
That's
the
not
same
the
time,
United
the guy,
States.
let's put it this way, the man in charge of Qatar said it would be nice to see Lionel Messi on the stage here in the Middle East.
But
What ended
Portugal
up
has a
happening?
tough matchup in that second round. Wouldn't they play depending on the results, but wouldn't they play Group I opponents?
Colin's here for the logistics.
Which is
One
France.
more time. Do that again.
We need who's Portugal?
Say that again.
Who does Group K
Winner of
play
Group
against?
K. Winner of Group K.
Winner of Group K, so that would be Portugal's group. The runner-up, the winner would get a third-place team. It does not announce what group. It'll be a
So it'd
third-place
third
team.
place.
Yeah.
That will be a Kansas City.
But yeah, you know,
Argentina is one of the rare teams that gets a
Does
second
second place play Group I?
Second place of which group? Okay,
Group K, yeah.
they play the Group L runner-up.
Group L.
and Group L is, in my opinion,
That's
the hardest.
exact-
That's
you could get-
Croatia.
that could be Croatia.
That's England
That's a tough
or Croatia.
matchup.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that would be a difficult. That Group K runner-up will be an important spot because if that's Colombia, you're going to have to deal with
Yeah,
a
because
pretty good team.
Portugal is not a lock to win that group. Colombia's
Stop
a
it.
very good team.
Stop it.
Watch out with Colombia.
Colombia is good. Luis Diaz and company, but
They're a good team. That's a team nobody
you're
wants to
talking,
play right now.
You're talking about the UEFA
And they're
Nation
going to
champs
have
in Portugal.
Colombia. The thing with Colombia, their fans travel. Their fans will take over cities.
Now,
they will take over stadiums.
can-
Talk about rocking. Those stadiums will be rocking.
Can you explain to the audience why I like Portugal so much, Damien?
I mean, it's Ronaldo.
my goat.
You're a Ronaldo
It's
fan.
my goat. And
This
listen,
is his last dance. Your
it
last
is.
hope.
It is, and that's why. Like I've been, that's what they said. Ronaldo bent the knee. He bent the knee of the United States, and it's going to happen.
How about
that's
this?
a deep dive conspiracy. For
How about
you.
this? The Group C runner-up, which is one of the best groups of the entire World Cup, which is Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. The runner-up of that group has to deal with the winner in the first round, the winner of Group F.
And Group F,
Which is
Netherlands,
Netherlands,
Japan.
Japan. Oh, God, dude.
That would be it. That'd be one of the better matches of the entire
Correct.
round of 32.
Correct. And Dame, Brazil, their expectations.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Win.
and it's that simple, and they haven't done it. They didn't do it at Copa America. And the lasting image, Colin, that we have in 2022 was Bruno Guimaraes crying after he missed the penalty
And
in the
2014
knockout stage.
in Brazil,
Correct.
Germany 7-2.
Yeah, Neymar, famously, when Neymar put the team on his back and they still weren't able to win anything.
Well, he didn't play that game. He hurt his back against Colombia. But
Right.
yes, that World Cup, he
But
did
he
put
was
the team in his back.
unbelievable in
Up
that
until
World
that
Cup
point,
when
yeah.
he played. So, like this, Colin, this is a big World Cup for Brazil. And also Copa America means a lot to those teams. And for those of you that don't know what Copa America is, it's CONMEBOL teams competing against each other.
That was
And
played here.
Now they added CONCACAF teams, which is our United States Federation.
Group J and H, which is Argentina's group and Spain's group, the winner plays the runner-up, and of the other group, the winner plays the other runner-up. Does that make sense? So the one plays the one of H plays the two of J, and the one of J plays the two of H, right? And it's the same thing with the Netherlands and Brazil. So Group C and Group F also flip-flop. So that means the winner of Group C, let's say Brazil, plays the number 2 of Group F, let's say Japan, and the winner of Group F, Netherlands, would play the number 2 of Group C,
Now,
let's throw out there Morocco. Those would be the best matches of that round of 32.
Yeah. Run by me again, J and H, which you just said.
So J and H so the winner of Group H, let's throw out there Spain,
Yep.
that first round in the knockout stage would be against the 2 of Group J.
Okay, so
That
Austria,
would be an
Algeria,
easy,
or Jordan.
An
Yeah,
easy game.
it would be.
So that's an important group to win because you get an easy game as a runner.
Damien, are we
and you
sleeping?
avoid Argentina.
Can I
That's
ask
the
you
big
something?
one,
Are
too.
we
You
sl-
avoid Argentina and you get an easy second place.
are we sleeping on Austria?
No.
Okay.
No.
They didn't do too bad in the Euros.
And
No.
then,
That's
yes.
the only reason I ask.
And then the winner of Group J, Argentina, would play that number 2 of Group H. So that of that first not group stage, the one you're going to be looking at is Spain, Uruguay.
And you know what? That
would be
game,
one of the
that's
biggest
the
ones.
last game of the group, too.
Is that
Uruguay.
confirmed?
Yep. Uruguay does not play Spain until the last game,
Is that how they do that? The one plays the 2 at the final game?
I believe.
Because they'll give the number 1, the number 3, or number 4 to
Right.
open things up. Okay. So that last game, let's figure that out. Group H, that last game in the group stage, that final game, or one of the more final games, I should say, One of them would be in Houston, and the other one would be in Guadalajara, Friday, June 26th. Match 65 and 66 are the last 2 games in Group H.
Yep.
So one of those will be Spain-Uruguay show, and basically the loser has to deal with Argentina.
Let me ask you guys this.
If it all goes to plan.
If you're these teams that are coming on over from the other side of the hemisphere, do you want to play in the States, or would you rather play in Mexico or
I'd rather
Canada?
play where the best hospitality is, yeah.
It's probably the States, too.
I would probably want to play in the Eastern Seaboard in the best accommodation possible.
Mexico plays all their friendlies in USA for that reason, too.
Yeah.
Hospitality is just a little better.
Right.
And you can price the ticket higher,
Yep.
too. That's another one.
I'll say this. That Monterrey Stadium is unbelievable. Have you seen it?
Oh, they got great
Dude,
infrastructure in
the
Mexico.
stadium in Monterrey is
Right.
that's
the
like
Azteca, that's like a...
dude, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I imagine if you're a team being in that Toronto, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, you'd like that. You would get a kick out of that because you don't have
That's
to get
why you have England there.
You don't have to get on a plane. Now, I went through
got
this.
similar weather,
Most
too.
of these groups are in different spots in terms of regionally located. You know, Toronto will be next to Boston.
Yep.
That's where you play a group. There's only one where Toronto and Dallas. That's probably the largest flight you'll take at the group stage is somebody going from Dallas to Toronto.
Yep.
How about that? There's your travel schedule.
Listen, and
That's a
there's
long flight.
And there's your breakdown too of the World Cup. I'll tell you what, I am juiced up. The fact that Colin is into it now, I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely love it.
I get into it now. I don't know anything about the teams really.
It's all right.
I know
We'll
I
teach
know
you.
the usual suspects,
We'll
and I
teach
know
you.
I know who's good World Cup teams because I watch every World Cup.
Let's put it this way: people are going to be like myself, are rooting for Ronaldo to win it. Belgium is the Penn State. The United States needs to do something in the knockout round. Colin, England. Who the hell would we compare England to? They haven't won a World Cup since the 60s. But, Colin, they have the best.
UF.
They have the best players in the best league. I don't think England is comparable to anybody. I really don't. Let's put it this way, Colin. The Premier League is the best league in the world, and they arguably have the best team every year. They get deep. They just don't win the damn thing.
The Big Ten?
The Big Ten has 2 champions the last 2 years. They're about to have their third in Ohio State.
Don't set them off.
Don't get me going on that. But listen,
England's a little bit like
England,
the Big
Colin,
Ten.
England,
They got a great league. A lot of good players come out of
England,
it. But
no.
They never get anything done.
Except, winning the national championship the last 2 years. England is theater. Their fans, their media.
That's what it is, too.
Absolute theater.
There's
the
so
Three
much
Lions.
extracurricular with England that it kind of gets in the way at times. Like, the pressure's immense for England.
It's on Colin. And it's all self-inflicted from the English media and from their fans and their hosts.
Similar
and
to
their
Mexico.
country.
Mexico has that same problem.
And Colin, France is probably France is Ohio State. They got the best team every single year. Are they going to get in their own way? So I love it. I absolutely love it. Kylian Mbappe, I think, is going to have a statement again. Mbappe, one of the youngest players to lead a team to a World Cup back in 2018. Going to be absolute theater. Absolute. And then you got the pesky Uruguay show, Damien.
Best news to put a cap on this is we went through all the Group J, or who's winning what group and who could potentially play in the biggest game. The biggest game, as we said, of that knockout stage in that round of 32 would be whoever Argentina plays, whether that be Spain or Uruguay.
Mm-hmm.
That is at Miami. That is the only game that Miami has in that round of 32 group stage. They haven't announced which one's going to be where after that. So, number one, you're going to see Messi there.
And they'll
number
probably
two,
stay there.
You're going to have a huge matchup. That's going to be the biggest game of the round of 32. What day is it? Friday, July 3rd of 2026.
Wow.
That would be a huge weekend in the United States.
We need boys. Brian Rowitz, our content director, if you're listening,
We're not getting tickets to that.
we need to be there. We got it.
They're
We got to
saying
find a
no.
way.
They're saying no.
Can we be outside the stadium?
We could probably do that. They'll probably give us parking lot standing room
We
only.
need to be there. We need
standing
to be there.
room only.
That is, especially if Uruguay shows there.
That's a huge matchup.
That's Cummable versus
no
Cummable
idea.
in the World Cup. That is unbelievable. It's like USA facing off against Mexico. For all my United States fans out there, it's like USA facing off against Mexico in the knockout
And the
round.
other games that day are Group K winner versus the third place, which would be the Portugal games. That means you have Messi and Ronaldo on Fox back-to-back in knockout stages in Kansas City and Miami. And then Group D runner-up for Group G runner-up. If I've seen a 12 o'clock kick, that I found one.
Wait, Group G and Group who, Kyle?
Group D runner-up and Group G
All right, so that
runner-up.
would be
That'd be the USA runner-up.
yep, and
Group G.
Egypt, Iran, or New Zealand.
Oh my God, that's gonna be the Fox Sports app only. That is not gonna be on TV.
Stream only.
That is gonna be stream only. But you're gonna have Messi and Ronaldo back to back. I'd make a bet that the Messi game will be the night game, and that Ronaldo would be like a 4 o'clock game.
Dude, I would love if that.
That'd be a hell of a day in soccer. That'd be a hell of a day.
Football.
Fine. Football. Today.
Football.
For today.
Football.
That'd be a hell of a day. That'd be Messi and Ronaldo, if the groups go the way they can. Messi and Ronaldo back-to-back on Fox on Friday, July 3rd.
That's what the ratings want, too.
Dude, I'm going to get a Ronaldo.
Those games would do monster ratings.
I'm going to get another Ronaldo haircut for the World Cup. My GOAT.
Are you going with the blonde highlights?
I think I might have to do the highlights.
Put a cap on it right now. Winner, Damien, who's it going to be, and runner-up?
If I had a favorite, I would go with Spain.
Don't put math to it. Just figure out.
Argentina.
Spain, Argentina.
Spain
over Argentina.
So I'll disagree here. Favorite is Argentina. They're the best team in the world.
I think Argentina wins it all, yeah.
They're the best team in the world, Kyle. They're absolutely unbelievable. Messi's still one of the greatest players in the world. Can't wait to see him in the MLS Cup tomorrow. With that said, I'm going Portugal. I think Ronaldo gets the World Cup. He was in the Oval Office. I'm buying into the hype.
You're going to do a Portugal over Argentina?
Correct. Well, not in the game, but I'm going Portugal.
What type of rating would that do?
Dude.
Portugal, Argentina? Idea. Oh, you have
billions.
No idea.
That will be.
That's best case scenario.
That would be the most.
That's best case scenario.
Billions.
I mean,
billions.
That'd be the most watched sporting event in 100 years.
And you know, people are saying Messi clears Ronaldo now because Messi has a World Cup. And that's the big conversation right now.
Messi shutting the door on Ronaldo's face.
What? So you asked me for my favorite and for my winner?
I was going to say,
favorite
win over who, and who's your runner-up? So you said Portugal over Argentina?
Yeah, probably. Listen.
That's picking with a heart. With the heart right there.
But you know how these things. It's hard to pick a runner-up, Colin, because you don't know how it's going to shake out.
You don't have.
It's exactly. It's hard to how it shakes out. I'll give you a favorite. The favorite is Argentina, and I think who wins is Portugal.
Wow.
Portugal, by the way, UEFA Nations champs. They're one of the top teams in the world right now, and have my United GOAT right now, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno.
It happened in 1980. With a bunch of ragtag college kids defeating the Soviet Union. It's going to happen again in 2026 at MetLife Stadium. United States is going to win the World Cup.
Dude, what I want you to do, log on to Hard Rock right now and please take that. If you actually believe that, take it on Hard Rock.
All right.
That's what you need to do.
That would be the global game being conquered.
They would hate it. By the way,
the world would hate that.
England would hate it.
The NFL would hate that.
Germany would hate it.
The world would hate that.
Exactly. They would absolutely hate it, and they would be crying rigged.
Because then you go to the Olympics, too, and the United States dominates once again. Oof, wouldn't like that.
I would love if the U.S. beat England. Listen, you know I love my English brothers. I'm rooting for a United States win over England in the knockout round.
You never hear the end of it. You never hear the end of it.
Wasn't that the matchup last World Cup?
Well, remember, it was the group stage.
No, we got smoked like a cigarette against the Dutch. It was the Dutch.
Right, but
Memphis Depay was running rampant.
The United States and England played on the day after Thanksgiving in the Qatar World Cup because it was on Fox 2:00.
It was a draw.
And it was a master game. It was a draw.
And the game before that was South Africa. Captain John Terry and Landon Donovan. They drew it too. It's always a draw between the United States and England when it comes to football.
Right, and that was that was on Thanksgiving weekend. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Perez. The groups are out for the 2026 World Cup. You're going to have a couple big matches down here in Miami. You're going to have a number of different teams playing all throughout the continental North America. You can catch all that on the FIFA website. We'll have coverage of that, and including Inter Miami. You want to see Messi, you get your Messi fever now. Playing tomorrow, too, so keep in mind for that. You can listen to that right here on Deportes Radio and also ESPN 106.3. If you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, the type that like to fight for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Why settle for just any attorney? Demand the best. Demand Anajar and Levine today because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control with Anajar and Levine. We'll get into conference championship weekend. There's your World Cup fix. It's Russo Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar & Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar & Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Join us for the 16th annual YMCA of the Palm Beaches Prayer Breakfast, Thursday, December 11th at the Breakers Palm Beach. Hear NFL legend, Super Bowl champion, and broadcaster Joe Theismann share his inspiring story of perseverance and purpose on and off the field. Support one of Palm Beach County's oldest nonprofits, serving children, family, and seniors since 1917. Learn more and reserve your seat at ymcapalmbeaches.org.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
I might be too strung out on compliments, overdosed on
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. It's Russo and Rizzo streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Also on your radio dial, ESPN 106.3. The group stage is out. We got conference championship weekend this weekend. We got good NFL slate on Sunday. You also got the Boca Bowl on the horizon with two of the best group of 5 teams going head-to-head down in Boca.
Folks, that is the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. Excuse me, the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans coming up December 23rd at beautiful Flagler Credit Union Stadium. I mean, over 150 athletes have gone from that field to the pros. So you're going to be seeing some pro players. It's in beautiful Boca Raton. Let's have some fun during the holidays, December 23rd at Flagler Credit Union Stadium with the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. Get your tickets now by going to BocaRatonBowl.com/tickets. That's BocaRatonBowl.com/tickets. And maybe if you show up early enough, you can see Colin get dunked in a bunch of beans.
Colin?
Yeah, Colin.
What about you?
I got a flight to catch, brother. I didn't, you signed us up for that. That's you.
That'll be all you, too.
That's you, brother.
You're not doing it without. I'm not doing it without you.
That's you, brother.
All right. Nonetheless.
We'll handle that at the time.
All right. Damian Perez, Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. Having a good time here at the City Place Studios. Got a lot of things to get to, and we also have conference championship weekend coming up. You know what we should do in the meantime is we still got to blitz the book. We still got to get into 5 at 5. We'll do that all in the second hour because we also have Max Britos, the football reporter from the LAFC, MLS, Premier League, knows everything.
He does, and he's currently one of the play-by-play broadcasters on the Apple Season Pass within the MLS. This is a good get. He knows a lot about world football. He's covered the United States men's national team for a long time. It's going to be great.
We'll get into the top groups and how the United States' path looks with Max Britos at 5:20, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we got a big football weekend, the other American football on this front. Mike, we got 2 big games tonight. James Madison, Troy, 7 o'clock on ESPN, and the North Texas Tulane in the American.
Yeah, for some reason I thought that this was tomorrow. But regardless, James Madison, I think hopefully I'm rooting for that because I'm rooting for some anarchy, Colin. I'm rooting for some anarchy in the sense of BYU winning, Duke winning, and the committee, their hand being forced to put in a team like James Madison and to keep both Notre Dame and Miami out of the playoff. So, yeah, it all starts with James Madison winning tonight. And then you mentioned Tulane and North Texas. You think Tulane has a chance with their head coach out?
Well, I remember I think he's coaching the game, John Summerall.
Is he? They're going to let him
coach the game?
And I believe
North Texas's coach took the Oklahoma State job.
So they're teams who don't have any. Yeah.
I have no idea who's going to show up.
And there's obviously a path for both of these teams in Tulane and North Texas to make it.
Jake Retzlaff, who's our guy.
Yeah, former BYU quarterback, now at Tulane.
Now at Tulane. And then North Texas is Drew Mestemaker, who is one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He's going to follow his coach probably to OK State, but if not, will be one of the top quarterbacks in the portal.
And they've scored 50 points over four times.
They could score. There's no doubt about
and remember, they lost 63 to about 20 to USF, and that's the only loss that they suffered all season.
You want to take a guess at what that over-under is on point total?
God, gosh.
Tulane could score too.
73.5?
Little high, 66.5.
Okay.
So they're banking on a 34-33
It's nice.
game.
Okay. I was maybe thinking 40s, but regardless, there's going to be a lot of offense in that game.
Absolutely. So, and then you got that, and you got a 4-game slate tomorrow of the ranked teams, college football playoff implications. You got the Big 12 championship opening things up, 12 o'clock on ABC, BYU and Texas Tech. You got Georgia, Alabama at the 4 o'clock slate, and then you got 2 in the night's cap with Duke, Virginia. I know that's Mike's favorite game, and then Indiana, Ohio State.
Dude,
Indiana, Ohio State is the game I care about the least.
Well,
is
yeah.
that crazy?
You picked Indiana to win, by the way.
Indiana's going to win that game, number one. Number two is it doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things.
Does the Heisman Trophy not mean anything?
Because I don't think either of those guys deserve the Heisman.
Well, the winner of that game, the quarterback is going to get the Heisman.
It might be Jeremiah Love.
We need to make 2.
It might be Jeremiah Love.
No chance. We need to make 2 wagers. Number 1, what are you putting on the line if you think Indiana's going to outright win? And number 2, what are you putting on the line? Because the quarterback that wins that game is going to win the Heisman
Trophy. Should I parlay Indiana with the United States to win the World Cup, and it'll be a 6-month bet?
You're a psycho. You're a psycho.
That'd be a heck of a 2-legger.
Do you actually believe Indiana's going to win? Like in your heart of hearts, or are you just doing this to troll me? Like if you believe Indiana's going to win, dude, take their money line on Hard Rock. You'll get juicy odds there right now.
Like plus 170.
No way. Yeah. Dude, that's well into the 200s. Well into the 200s for them to win.
Are you forgetting that this team is 12-0?
Undefeated with their great win against Penn State?
Well, hold on.
At the death, who has about 2 recruits now and no head coach?
Plus 160.
I'd still take it. The real spread, it's funny, my cousin, the LSU fan, because naturally I'm sweating this game out thinking that, the Buckeyes are going to lose. I was telling that to my cousin last night. He goes, Mike, do you want I said, the line's 4.5. He goes, all right, do you want the real line? I go, what's the real line? He goes, 20.5.
Not 20.5.
So it's
in favor of Indiana?
In favor of Ohio State.
Oh, in favor of Ohio State.
Fair enough. You're making me sweat this game out for the second year in a row. I gave you and Jonathan Zaslow.
Here's the best part.
I gave you and Jonathan.
Mike's been begging for a big game. They beat Michigan. It was a good game. And, Michigan,
it was a huge game.
Clearly
did you see that
Michigan.
rating? Do you see that rating?
What did it do? About 20 million?
Best college football zone.
What did they do? 16?
Like 18.7.
Yeah, probably a little high.
18.7.
Pretty good.
Hang on. You're Mr. Rating guy.
I didn't see the rating on that one.
And you didn't know? Yeah, you did. You're just
hold on. No, I didn't. Okay. Because you asked me, and I gave a ballpark of what it was. So I am good with ratings. But I was a little high there.
You're my rating guy.
I ratings and TV schedule guy.
Correct.
That's what we are. And then Mike's the soccer guy. So Mike's got the breakdown of
football guy.
Football for today. Nonetheless, all right. Of the 4 games tomorrow, let's stay on tomorrow. BYU, Texas Tech, Georgia, Alabama, Indiana, Ohio State, Duke, Virginia. Do you think any of these games are going to go awry, not according to plan? As in, or any of these underdogs?
I mean, it's the ACC, right? The ACC's gone awry all year.
So you think it's going to be?
By the way, it's 4.
You think it's going to be?
That line is 4 for UVA. How is it that a double-digit spread?
And after they beat them by 17 3 weeks ago, I told you for that exact reason, it's hard. It's going to be hard to beat that team because Duke got a gift.
They stink.
They got a gift.
They're so bad.
But there's something about capitalizing once you get an absolute gift like that.
Dude, that team is so bad. They lost, and I know you hate. I think you've condemned me for saying this before. That team lost to Illinois about 30 points. Bielema threw to the sideline the whole game and won by 30.
Is they could score. They got a pretty good quarterback. Darian Mensah is the guy who they spent a lot of money to go get. You got to spend a lot of money to go get him.
5 losses.
5 losses, 2 in
all
conference.
All out of conference.
2 in conference. 2 in
all out of every out of conference game they played, they got smoked.
UConn beat them.
Come on, man. And Bielema threw to I know I keep saying it, guy threw to the sideline for 4 hours, won by 30. Luke Altmaier. Come on.
All I'm saying, I agree. I think that Duke game will go awry because I think it's going to be hard to beat that team twice. It's going to be hard to beat that team twice. When you get a gift like that, when you get a second life,
yeah,
they're going to take advantage.
Now, let me ask you about the SEC. Where do you lean there? Bama's really controlled that game for 3-4 years.
Let's establish one thing.
Okay,
Bama's in, win or loss.
Correct.
You agree?
Yeah,
I agree.
They have a lot of wins versus ranked opponents. Listen, the Florida State loss might be the worst out of the 12.
Can they play themselves out with a bad loss, a really bad loss? 2-3 scores.
I think anybody can at that
point. I don't think that's going to happen.
But it's not going to happen. But, all right, I think the question you want to ask me is, can anybody play themselves out with a bad loss? And I think absolutely, especially when you have teams like Miami and Notre Dame knocking on the door.
So the one thing I would say, it's It's going to be hard to beat that team twice, too. Does Alabama have more to gain from the game? Absolutely. I think Georgia gets
Does the winner get the bye no matter what?
Winner gets the
Even
bye.
if it's Bama.
And I would say if Georgia loses, Georgia still gets a home game.
Okay.
Alabama's probably vying for road game or home. Because they got a little bit more to gain, I would actually favor Alabama. Alabama's the only team in the SEC, only team probably in the country that doesn't necessarily blink when they see Georgia. So because of that, I would say because they got more to gain, I would actually lean Alabama. And then as for the BYU-Texas Tech game, I think it'll be a competitive game. I think Texas Tech will win this.
I think Tech rolls.
I don't know about
I think
rolls,
they cover that 12
part
and a half.
Part of me thinks Texas is happy if BYU comes in and plays either competitively or not happy if they beat them. But you know what? At least another Big 12 team gets in. Because that's a little conference, pride they got.
I got them covering the 12 and a half. I think they win pretty big, Kyle. I'll disagree there.
I would take BYU with 12 points. I would. And then as for Ohio State, if you want my real answer, I do think Ohio State will win by more than 4 points.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world, Ohio State is terrible in the game, and Indiana is able to win.
Speak that to yourself. Sayin was joined, and I forget the podcast, forgive me. Sayin joined a podcast and mentioned how important it is for the team to win their first Big Ten title since 2020. That's the kind of energy I like out of my quarterback.
He's just saying that. They don't
3,000
really
yards.
They don't really 3,000. Don't
3,000
ever
yards.
tell me Heisman and then
3,000 yards.
3,000 yards.
Hear me out.
Don't ever say Heisman and then 3,000.
You didn't let me finish.
Go ahead.
3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns compared to 5 interceptions, and the best completion percentage in the history of college football.
What is it? What is the number?
Like 90-something.
He completes 90% of his passes?
Correct.
I think that's way too high. Let's fact check that. There's no way he
Shooting
completes
from the hip, but he has the highest completion percentage.
Maybe 78. I mean, come on, that's not fair. No way. I'm going to check this right now. You're
Go
dead
ahead.
wrong. You're dead wrong.
I don't think I'm dead wrong.
78.9. You're close
Well, it's the
enough.
highest in college football history. So you got to gas up my guy.
Here's the thing.
Got to gas up my guy.
I was looking at Heisman seasons previously with quarterbacks, and just nobody this year just matches up statistically. I know, Brand, they won huge games. He doesn't play in the full game every game. But, like, for example, Burrow, Bryce Young, all these guys, they had 50 touchdowns.
I know they did.
So you're trying to tell me you said 3,000 yards. He's a hair over 3,000 yards. He's 3,065, 30 touchdowns, 5 receptions. That's a good year. That's a good year.
It's a great year, not a good year.
It's a good year.
It's a great year.
It's an okay year.
On an undefeated team who has been the best team on the field every game they've played.
That's not a Heisman year.
Yes, it is. On an undefeated team that
Give
wins
the
your
team
conference
the Heisman,
champion.
then. You want the team to get the Heisman? Fine. For a player.
Says you,
What do you mean
by the
says
way.
me? What do you
The
mean
rest
says
of the
me?
country says the winner of this game's winning the Heisman, and I agree with them. Even
dead wrong.
Foreman,
They're
even
dead wrong.
formed that
All
guy
of them.
Mendoza.
They're dead wrong. All of them.
Whatever.
It should be Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, okay. All right. That who lost every big game they played and arguably doesn't belong to sniff the college football playoff.
You're dead wrong.
Goes to a great team. You agree with me the criteria is the team, too.
Part of the criteria is how good the team is. All right, so in a perfect world, we're going to see Texas Tech win. Notre Dame is going to get in over Miami.
I'm like you. I want to force the committee's hand to make a tough decision. And
the way to do that is BYU losing.
I thought maybe BYU losing and Duke winning, right?
BYU, okay. So
Right.
because of that,
BYU
Duke winning,
losing and
Duke
Duke
winning
winning.
period would give them decisions.
Correct. But Duke winning also, then you get the group of 5 conversation going and
then you
Notre
gotta
Dame and
figure out
Miami.
yeah, that's right. Because
That's
if
what we want.
BYU wins, Notre Dame and Miami are both out.
I don't think so. I think Notre Dame gets in no matter what. But, yeah, the toughest decision the committee will have to make is if Duke wins and Texas Tech beats BYU. Because you put BYU in with the 1 loss in the regular season and the loss in the conference championship.
Can't punish them for playing extra.
And what do
games,
you
my
do
personal
with the
opinion.
group of 5 with Duke being a terrible conference champion winner?
You put in James Madison as long as they win tonight. How about that?
That's
it could be fun.
the avenue.
It'd be a fun, make it chaotic for the College Football Playoff Committee. I completely agree. Go download the ESPN South Florida app today. You can listen to myself and Mike, Russo, and Rizzo, theoretically speaking, our extensive high school coverage. You can download it anywhere and listen to Inter Miami English and Spanish tomorrow, 2:30. The Inter Miami is fighting for the MLS Cup, so it should be a good one. We got full coverage, 5-hour pregame with Mike Rizzo. No, I'm just kidding. You got a little bit of a pregame. Yeah, it'll be good.
Colin is begging for me to miss the Ohio State game at 8 o'clock when the Inter Miami game is at 2.
Mike's going to have Messi on at 10 p.m.
Do I need to bring our director of ops, Dave Druda, in here? I will.
If we
I'll
get
tell
Messi
on you.
on at 10 p.m.
I'll tell on you, Colin.
Nonetheless, download the ESPN South Florida app and listen to all these great places. Your beat for South Florida sports, including the Florida Panthers, on their quest for a three-peat. Do it all in one spot. ESPN South Florida app. 5 and 5 coming up on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
Get ready for one of the biggest college football events of the year. It's the 12th annual Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, Tuesday, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at beautiful Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best Group of 5 teams battle it out in sunny South Florida. And just like Bush's Beans, the game is packed with real flavor and tradition. Over 150 players have gone from the field to the NFL. Who's going to be next? Grab your seats now by going to BocaRatonBowl.com. The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans.
Every family has dreams, a vacation, a new car, or a rainy day fund. With a Boost savings account from Flagler Credit Union, your dreams can become reality. Earn up to 3.0 annual percentage yield with no minimum balance, no monthly fees, and easy access to your funds. Whether you're saving for life's big moments or everyday expenses, a Boost savings account helps you reach your goals faster. Open a Boost savings account today and start boosting your future at Flagler Credit Union. Boost checking is required. Other qualifications apply. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMITTED.
Football season is here, and the ultimate game day headquarters is Twin Peaks. Whether it's college Saturdays or NFL Sundays, catch every kickoff, every touchdown, every Hail Mary right here at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. From scratch-made favorites to ice-cold 29-degree draft beers, Twin Peaks is delivering all the winning plays. Looking for a stronger lineup? No one does game day like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks, come for the game, stay for the experience.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-7473. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
There are just a few Dolphins games left this season at Hard Rock Stadium. If you've been thinking about getting to a game, now's the time. Single game tickets are still available with seats across all levels, from the 300s to premium club options. Dolphins football is about more than what happens on the field. It's about who you're with, the atmosphere, and being part of something bigger. Grab your tickets now at MiamiDolphins.com/tickets.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs. Installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
The 5 p.m. hour of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3, Friday, December 5th, 2025. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. If you missed any of the program, go listen back. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Just go to Russo and Rizzo. Damian Perez is our producer behind the glass today. Let's bounce around. Let's have a little fun. Let's do a little 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
With the loaded college football slate that we have coming up this weekend, I believe the most implicating game is BYU versus Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are 12.5-point favorites, and assuming they take care of business, who deserves to be that next team in? Notre Dame or Miami, assuming BYU is outside looking in after that result?
I do think there's a chance that Miami could leapfrog Notre Dame and get the bid. I do think Notre Dame's the better team, so I'd have no problem if the committee ended up leaning Notre Dame here and putting them in. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to head-to-head your way to the bottom of this, it's not the only tiebreaker. It's a piece of the puzzle. Every other piece of the puzzle, in my opinion, favors Notre Dame. How you've played recently. Have you been more dominant? Have you been less inconsistent? Have you lost to better teams? That all favors Notre Dame. The only thing that Miami has is the head-to-head, and I get that. That's a big piece of the puzzle, but it was also 3 months ago. You want to tell me that Alabama is the same team as 3 months ago as they are today? Are you sure about that? They're in the SEC championship game, and they're the 1 seed. Keep in mind, they have 1 loss in conference, including the head-to-head over Georgia. So, because of that, not the same team. I'd be fine with Notre Dame, but I could see Miami getting.
So, Damian and I were talking before the show. Damian, find me the 3 metrics that Coach Cristobal talked about when he joined, theoretically speaking. While you do that, they're going to put in Notre Dame no matter what. And Colin, I hope you're right. I hope there's, our situation comes to fruition of BYU getting in over Notre Dame, even if they lose the Big 12 championship, the better season, but. This is Notre Dame. They got gold helmets. They got the pants. They got the jerseys. They got the fan base. And they got the money. I told you when they lost to Texas A&M, if they win 10 straight games, they're going to be in. We need them to lose 1 more game. They didn't lose 1 more game, and I'm sticking by what I said all those months ago. They're getting in no matter what, and the committee doesn't give a damn. Dame, what were those 3 metrics that Cristobal mentioned?
Strength of schedule, head-to-head competition, and comparative outcomes of common opponents.
And apparently Miami is better than Notre Dame in all 3. So I don't know. Listen, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. My best guess is they're putting in Notre Dame no matter what, because the committee doesn't. We give the committee too much credit sometimes. And number 2, Notre Dame is Notre Dame. Speaking of number 2, let's move on to number 2, the 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
Number 2.
Ohio State recruit, used to be Ohio State recruit, Legend Bay, wants to be a Buckeye, but his parents want him at Tennessee. Since he's under 18, his parents wouldn't sign off on the national letter of intent unless it was for Tennessee. Do you think this is the best decision for his future?
Now, Colin, let me break this down even further. His table was decked out in Ohio State. The backdrop was decked out in Ohio State. He had Ohio State gear on, and when he went to go sign for Ohio State, his mother and brother wouldn't sign the letter because Tennessee was, quote, giving more money. Fast forward a day later, Legend Bay tweeted saying, hey, my brother runs my Twitter account. This is going to get deleted, but I wanted to go to Ohio State, but my folks wouldn't let me because I'm 17 years old. Tweet gets deleted. The letter of intent gets sent to Tennessee. The kid's going to Tennessee next year. One of the more bizarre things you will ever see as far as recruiting in college football, the player not being able to go where he wants to go because he's 17 years old. And what stinks about it, too, his whole Twitter, he was tweeting the entire time during the Ohio State-Michigan game. The kid couldn't wait to go to Ohio State, and his folks wouldn't let him because the word on the block is that Tennessee was giving a bigger bag.
Apparently, this kid turns 18 in 20 days.
Right. So, what's going to happen? That, is he going to hit the portal?
Window, yeah.
It's isn't this just terrible? Isn't this one of those situations where the family is getting involved to a fault? The young man wants to go to Columbus and go to Ohio State. Let the kid go where he wants.
Very
I know
bizarre.
a lot of it is money. And listen, Colin, I've never had to struggle for money in my life. I have no idea what the hell that's like. But at the same time,
You're
young
making
man,
money regardless.
and the young man wanted to go there. I don't get it.
If this was Michigan and he went to Ohio State
I'd say
instead,
the same thing.
Okay.
I really would.
Right.
If the kid's table is decked out in the school and he's wearing the gear and he's tweeting about it, what are we doing here?
Number 3.
Number 3.
LeBron James ends his double-digit point streak after 1,297 straight games. First time he doesn't score in double digits since January 5th, 2007. Is this a big deal at all for you guys?
It's classic PR. You know, he went 4 of 17 in the game.
It was bad.
He didn't play well.
It was bad.
You know, he had an assist to win the game, but I remember I saw people going after it. Oh, selfless LeBron strikes again. He shot 17 shots. He made 4 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 8 points. He's been flirting with under the 10, but you knew it was going to come. It's an untouchable record. You never see it again. But to turn this into some selfless LeBron PR thing is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. He had a bad game, and we're trying to, put some icing on it? Well, come on.
You guys know I'm the biggest LeBron homer that there is. Listen, first off, I couldn't the streak. And number 2, I kind of agree with Colin. Let's not spin the story into that. Bron had a bad game, and that's what it is. I'll say this. I wish this was his last year because I think we're seeing
a decline.
Correct. And I don't need to see LeBron go full on Kobe.
Number 4.
Meaning full on Kobe in the sense of playing when your time is up. Correct.
Chicago Bears are 6.5-point underdogs at Lambeau Field on Sunday at 4:30. And coming into this game, they are the number 1 seed in the NFC. Does the winner of this game take control of that conference?
I would say yes, because I think even though Detroit won last night, which we'll get into eventually, but Detroit last night winning keeps them alive, but I don't think it keeps them too much in the hunt for the North, especially against the Packers because they've lost 2 straight against them. The winner of this game will be in a good spot. I mean, the Packers and the Bears could totally split these games, and then you're going to go tie break after that. But the Packers are going to need the Bears to lose between now and the end of the year more than the Packers do. So I would say the winner of this, it's a good indication, but it's not set in stone.
Spitting image of 2018, the Bears win this game and they go on to win the division.
Number 5.
Last but not least, the World Cup draw took place today in our nation's capital, and it's safe to say the excitement is building. The World Cup will be played here in America from June 11th to July 19th. What are your favorites to win it all?
United States of America. That's my favorite, and that's going to be who's going to win.
It's Portugal, it's France, and it's Argentina. I find it, and you throw Spain in there, throw England. That's your big 5. Portugal, Spain, Argentina, Italy, and France. That's the 5. If it's any of those 5, I'll be shocked. Colin, keep in mind, 8 countries, in the history of the World Cup have won a World Cup. In all the years we've done this, it's been 8 teams. You could throw Brazil in there too. 6. Realistically, there's probably, and listen, for all my young friends that are listening, you got your thing, about 6 or 7 teams that are probably going to have a chance to win the World Cup.
Out of 48.
I hope that you're right about the U.S. I just don't see it. And folks, that was our 5 at 5. Presented by Flagler Credit Union.
On the other side of things, we will talk to somebody who is inside the world of football, world football, that is. That's Max Britos, the American sports announcer and the play-by-play man for the MLS on Apple TV broadcasts. He's done extensive coverages for ESPN on the Major League Soccer side of things. We will get his thoughts on the United States men's national team, where they are in their grouping, what the dangerous groups are, the group of death, which is it in his eyes. Lot to do, lots to talk about. He's coming up on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite, too. Extra value meals are back.
The extra value meal is on at McDonald's. Get a sausage McMuffin with egg, hash browns, and a small hot coffee for just $5. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Promotion pricing may be lower than meal pricing.
While the Who's of Whoville were laughing and eating, the Grinch from his lair sought to wreak havoc on their season. He thought, how do I ruin their holiday meals? A plan sprang to mind, which he enacted with zeal. Dill pickle seasoning on fries will make for a green surprise. And I know they'll be shocked with these loathsome odd socks. So if you want to experience the Grinch's mischievous meal, head to McDonald's and show him how you really feel. The new Grinch meal, now at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. In office, West Palm Beach.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Robert Gilman, partner and leader of Anshin's Real Estate Group.
Under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, 100% bonus depreciation has been permanently reinstated. Real estate businesses are now able to immediately expense the full cost of qualifying property. Even projects with millions in improvements can benefit from first-year expensing without any spending cap. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide real estate businesses through these legislative changes to help them develop a long-term investment strategy and boost cash flow. If you're a real estate professional looking to enhance profitability and minimize tax liabilities, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Joshua S. Jew, who operates out of Good Samaritan Health Center through the Palm Beach Health Network, and he explains how Florida is in the Stone Belt when it comes to being at risk to developing kidney stones.
There's a 1 in 10 risk of having kidney stones down in the Stone Belt, which is the southern part of the United States, especially the southeastern part of the United States. That risk is even higher. A lot of that's due to dehydration, which is probably the biggest risk factor for kidney stone formation, as well as diet. Having high oxalate-rich foods can predispose to stone formation risk. Florida is right in the middle of the Stone Belt, so a much higher risk of having stone disease here.
That was Dr. Joshua S. Jew from the Palm Beach Network Physician Group. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any needs, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, the group stage is set. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3 for the 2026 World Cup, hosted here in North America, including the United States. It's Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. We're streaming live from the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. A lot to do, a lot to touch on. And we got to bring in a professional for one of this. Max Brenes is one of the top voices of American soccer. He does a lot of coverage for the MLS on Apple TV. He's worked for ESPN, Fox Sports, and he also has the Soccer OG podcast on YouTube where he does all this extensive coverage. Max, we appreciate you joining us. How are you doing today?
Well, with that kind of intro, I'll join you anytime. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. Doing great.
You got it. So let's start off. Let's get the elephant out of the room. United States, the group. Most people like it. Where do you stand?
I like it. The only thing that is of concern is in this new format with 48 teams. There's a lot of ways to advance. Of the 48 teams, 32 teams will make it, third place teams. So, a lot more teams make it to that next round than don't. You don't want to be one of those 16 teams that don't make it. So I think the best passage, as much as we would like to win the group, the best passage to make it to that stage is to have some team in the group that you're guaranteed to beat. And there are teams in that field. I'd say like a country. I'm not picking on anyone here, but like Jordan, I saw there, or Cape Verde Islands that might be, in their first World Cup, a little over their heads. Those are the kind of teams you want to go get a win, because if you get a win, you get 3 points. You're going to make it. This group, they can win all games, but they're going to press all three of them. Australia is a real plucky team that reminds me of the way USA used to play, where they won with spirit and a toughness. And I think that, I talked to a lot of Australian media outlets. They're very confident about where Australia is. It's not the sexiest team, that it's not star-studded, but they have a way. And they got out of the group last World Cup, and they pushed Argentina in their round of 16 game. Paraguay, not at that level, but a team that comes out of South America. And then the other team, which money states probably would be Turkey. If it is them, they will be, I'm sorry, Turkey, but they are going to probably be the favorites to win this group. They beat the U.S. back in May. So I like it. The USA, as it stands, are probably the team to beat. But all three games, they're going to be pushed. And, bounce of ball, then it could be a little tricky. But overall, this is a much more favorable group than they've had in World Cups past.
Max, first off, thanks for joining us, partner. What's a success for us? What's a success for the United States men's national team, partner?
That is the big question, and
right.
it gets a little twisted here because of this expanded World Cup, where you're gonna have an extra knockout game. So you get to the round of 32, and then it's always the round of 16 is a realistic goal, but you want to go beyond that. I think the round of 16 would be, if they get out of their group and win a game in the knockouts, I'll be pretty happy. I mean, I would like to see more, but I can't see how you realistically say this is a team that should be in a quarterfinals, even if they're hosting it. They can do it, but if we're talking about what is an expectation, I think a round of 16 is a great. It would be a really good step. Or let me rephrase that. It would be a good landing spot. It would feel a little empty because you feel like you could go further in a World Cup you're hosting, but that is where it is. It's a quarterfinal would be awesome. A round of 16 is, I think, a little above expectation the way it stands. And I think this has got to be abundantly clear as we get to the knockout stages. We don't know until we see the path. The path will determine everything. If all of a sudden you turn it around to 32 and you're facing a team that may have slipped on a banana peel, and it's like Germany or something, which could happen. than best laid plans, as they say. So the path will say it. But I think I would be surprised if they don't get to a round of 16. Feeling that they could win this group. And then if you're in the round of 16, you get a good matchup. Who knows? I mean, that could take them further than the quarterfinals. But we're kind of heading to a world of unknown with this expanded World Cup.
Max Brantos, the play-by-play man of the MLS on Apple TV, a soccer fan himself, somebody who covers this sport extensively on the world stage, world football, I should say. On top of this, you mentioned the expanded tournament a number of times, and you expanded the expanded group. It's thinned out the groups a little bit. Now you got an 8 third-place teams that are going to move on to the knockout stage, 32 instead of 16. Do you like that, or do you think, like I said, it's thinned it out a little bit? Where do you stand with all the host cities? You got to fill these games. How do you feel about 48 teams getting in?
I don't mind the thinning out process. And I look at some of the matchups, and I take Haiti, for instance, and I know down there in South Florida, a great Haitian community, they're going to be locked in. They get to take the field with Brazil. I can't imagine what's going through the Haitian community's head right now thinking about this game, how amazing it's going to be that they get to participate. And I like that. I like these stories. My issue is what you touched on, is these third place teams. And now the waters have been muddied where it takes a little bit out of the groups. And this this may sound counterintuitive, but I think I would prefer if it was 64 teams. So you would have a clear cut top 2 advance, and then the group stages are illuminated a little bit. Because now it feels like, not that any team's going to go in wanting to lose a game, but if you lose a game, you still have chances to get out because of that third place game. It's going to be a lot of math, which I hate, looking at the points and so forth. So that's going to be a bit of distraction. But once we get to the knockouts, it'll be great. And I know FIFA wants to expand it. Again, I don't mind bringing in new teams for that experience. The third place team is just a bit confusing, and it's going to give me a headache. And I'd just rather make it clean.
Now, Max, are there any pot 1 teams you could see not being the winner of the group? You got, Canada, Mexico, U.S., like out of those
cities, the host countries.
Right,
sure.
but there's a couple on there, I think, Max, where we could have a conversation about. Even Spain, they got Uruguayo. They got Uruguay there. Could they compete to win that group? Is there anybody that you see that are at the top of their group, maybe not finishing at that top spot and being number 2?
I think Spain's untouchable, and all due respect to Uruguay, Spain probably the team. They are the favorites from what we've seen, and I'd be shocked if they don't make at least the semifinal. They're just way too talented. Canada as a top seed of the 3 host nations, I think they had the most challenging of the groups, just because Mexico. I think first of all, I would say that Mexico has the best home field advantage. They're playing at the Estadio Azteca. They know what they're going to get there. The U.S. is playing games in Seattle and L.A. I don't know what that's going to look like. But Canada has got the Swiss. The Swiss are very good. I think Canada will make it through, but I would like the Swiss to win that group there. Other than that, I think the top teams are pretty well positioned to make it through. France has a very difficult group, but it's France. I mean, as much as I like Norway and Senegal, the French should be too strong. It's a very strong pot 1, even with those 3 group teams. I think of those 8 teams, or is it the 12 teams there in that first pot, I think maybe 10 or 11 make it through. And it's a very good group. Maybe the one, I like Colombia, but they are kind of, they disappoint you a lot more. They have all the talent. They're always on the cusp, but when they have that moment, they've fallen a bit short. They're in a group with Portugal. I think that could be the one. Maybe Colombia could win that group ahead of the Portuguese.
Now, Max, if you ask everybody around, the group of death is Group I. For me, partner, take a look at Group L. Do me a favor. Turn on Talk Sport. Turn on some English media right now, and you tell me who gets the hardest group. Partner, I would probably go Group L and Group C before I even go to Group I. I think Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland's very underrated. That's an underrated group there. But as far as the group of death, I see Group L. It's Group L with 2 pot 1 teams like England and Croatia. And you like the Senegal, don't sleep on Ghana, partner. I think Ghana is actually the second best AFCON team behind Morocco.
Yeah, Ghana's they're going to have a big effort. And I got to tell you, I like Panama too. Panama's a team that has been at a World Cup. It was cute and nice. They're going to take it a little more seriously. Croatia, it's hard to say you have a definitive group of death because of this expanded field. But like you said about Group C, I mean, Brazil and Morocco, Morocco could win the World Cup. They're pushing
Yep.
that level. I don't think they'll do it, but that's their expectation. And the Scots have been really impressive. And I truly believe, to touch on Haiti, I'm not catering to the Haitian community down there in South Florida. This is the beginning of something, could be something really special. A lot of French based players, they're not there just to fill out the numbers. They're going to be there with some expectations to get a result along the way. Can they do it against Brazil and Morocco? Not likely. But I don't expect them to just bow down to this superior forces there. I give Group C, man, it's tough. Group C, the edge right now over a Group L, although I think England is going to be pretty comfortable in that group. What was the other group you said they were
Group
saying?
I, partner. Everyone's saying France, Senegal, Norway, and the winner of the qualification. They're saying that. I guess I'm not buying into Norway. I got to be completely honest here. When have they ever showed up in a World Cup? I understand they did great things in the qualification process, breaking some records along the way. But listen, I'm not buying Norway until I see it on the pitch in the World Cup coming up this summer.
They're basing it on talent, and it's not just Erling Haaland. They have really good players, and they should have been at a World Cup sooner. But this is the first time they were at a World Cup in 1988. I don't think I'd be surprised if they put it all together out of the blue. I mean, it's one thing to make the World Cup with a talented team, but it's another thing to perform in it. This is uncharted waters for this country that have had such a long wait to play in a major competition. So I'm with you. I think that's pretty crystal clear for the French. And it'll be interesting. We'll see who the fourth team is, but it's going to be between Senegal and Norway for second. I'm certainly leaning to Group C if I had to take a pick.
Okay.
Now, Max, who do you think is the biggest wild card of this entire group stage, even through the actual knockout rounds? Who are some of the wild cards you got your eyes on? You mentioned Morocco. Hey, they could do it. Who are those teams that catch fire at the right time, could also really screw up some brackets?
Well, I wish I knew more about them, but I know there's something special happening in North Africa. Part of it is their proximity to Europe and how Morocco has been able to get players who play in France and Spain to make their roster remarkable. I think you see Algeria, you see Egypt, you see Tunisia, all made the World Cup. That's telling you that region of the world is really getting wise to how to become better countries. So I think any combination of those North African teams, I would imagine, could certainly throw a spanner in the works. I got my eye on Algeria, and I was actually doing some homework. I had no idea Algeria is the biggest land country in Africa. I always thought it was small. It's enormous. So who knew? But I would say there, and I want to say Colombia. I just always say that about them, but they made the Copa America final. They should have won it. They pushed Argentina to the end. That's a team that, when I'm talking about a surprise that could maybe make a semifinal, they certainly have it in them. But if I take a more safer answer, I'm going to go with those North African countries. I think they're going to put their best foot forward. 2, maybe 3 advance to maybe the round of 16.
Max Brito is our guest here on Russo and Rizzo. Now, Max, if both Portugal and Argentina top their groups and advance past the round of 32, all right, hear me out on this. We'll get Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel Messi in the quarterfinal. Now, you ready for a deep dive conspiracy theory, partner?
Let's hear it.
Cristiano Ronaldo went and bent the knee to President Donald Trump, and apparently Cristiano is going to get the same service that Lionel Messi got over in the Middle East when he got every call under the sun. Where are you at with possibly getting a Ronaldo versus Messi quarterfinal? Partner, the only reason I ask, I personally think this is going to happen. I think Argentina is the best team in CONMEBOL and this side of the hemisphere.
FIFA in the world is begging for it to happen.
And I personally think Portugal, Nations League champ, I think they're at least top 3 within Europe. I know you're high on Spain, and you're probably high on England and company, but partner, I see this coming to fruition. And what do you make of the deep dive conspiracy theory of Cristiano Ronaldo about to be getting all the calls here at the States?
I wouldn't rule against that, but here's a little contrarian thing. I truly believe, as great as Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi have been, both those countries are better moving forward without their star player. Lionel Messi's even touched on it, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that's going to be to the detriment of those two teams' prospects. Lionel Messi even said something in the press recently. I hope I'm on the Argentina squad, so he can see the writing on the wall. There are stars that have come in, Julian Alvarez, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister,
Yep.
Mastantuono, that are ready to take the ring there. Argentina is ready to defend their crown without Lionel Messi. They're a top 3-4 team without Lionel Messi. Messi is a great luxury player to have, but they've got to start preparing it. Portugal is the same thing. They are rock solid, loaded, and I feel it's almost a case when those guys are around, by necessity, they have to kiss the ring a little bit. I mean, I could eat my words on this, but I mean, this has been an incredible run for both those players. But that run really, I think it's time to pass that down, that responsibility. Whether it happens, I don't know. But I think the sooner those two countries move forward with the incredible talent they have, they're both loaded. When Ronaldo and Messi finally call a day, these two teams are going to be fine. But I think this is the World Cup where we really have to find it. And that might be an interesting little. I know the last thing Fox or anyone wants to hear who's covering it because they're going to lean into the superstars. But the reality is these are super teams and they've got to pass the baton. I think I was expecting it to happen before this World Cup. It hasn't. We'll see how it affects those two teams. But they'll both have good World Cups, whether those two guys play or not.
Now, Max, one thing I got to bring up here is I'm looking at the FIFA calendar in terms of how they're going to schedule these games and what groups are going to be pinned up against each other, whether it is the third place, the runner-up, the winner, where the winner is going to stand. And it's really it's Group F and Group C that are pitted against each other, and then Group H and Group J. Outside of that, all the winners of the other groups will play a third-place team because there are 4 that don't qualify out of the 8 that get in through the group stage. So that, for example, if Spain wins their group and then all of a sudden Uruguay is sitting there at number 2, they're going to have to deal with Argentina in that round of 32. It's a less favorable matchup comparatively than going as a second-place team and playing against somebody else's runner-up or somebody else's third-place team, however it might go, in another group. You get the same thing with C and F, where if Japan actually puts together a couple good games and all of a sudden they got to deal with the winner of Group C coming out of that. I wanted to get your perspective on these groups sort of get burned in a way because you have to deal with a runner-up comparatively to a third-place team if you're second place or something like that. And on the other side, if you win your group, you got to deal with a second-place team instead of a third-place team with these groups. I wanted to get your perspective on that whole thing.
My perspective is you guys have done phenomenal footwork on this World Cup. You've exceeded what I have done looking towards the round of 32. I bow down to the thorough nature of how you've tackled this bracket. That's amazing.
Mike is the guy who knows it back and front. I like logistics, so I like
Colin knows the schedule. He knows where Messi's playing.
I like where they're going to play. If they're going to take a play in there, where they're going to put the teams. I like getting into the World Cup. I'm not a league fan myself, but I do get into the logistics.
Hang on, Max. He's an Arsenal.
That's amazing.
Max,
it's amazing.
Max, I made him pick a Premier League team. Sadly, as a Manchester United man, he chose Arsenal. Fair play to him. But at the same time, Max, you feel like some of these teams are probably going to get the benefit of the doubt because
100%.
of the way. And then that's how these things happen. It happens even when there were only 16 knockout teams in years past.
This 48 team, when you leave stuff to the interpretation of data and goal differential and stuff, it's going to compromise the tournament a little bit. But that's what we have. And that's why the best team at the end may not win it because of a coefficient here or something there. Colin, I thought your example about Japan, who I think can actually win that group. It really, no matter how many times people tell you you want to be tested, you want to face the best teams, the secret to success in competitions like this is getting the benefit of the draw. If you start looking for teams like you just did with Japan and you see roadblock, stay away. Japan, as good as they can be, that is like the sleeping giant, along with Morocco, that a team that potentially one day could win the World Cup. If you look at that bracket and you go, no, stay away. It's not gonna. It's just they just got on the wrong side of things here with regards to the draw. Mm-hmm. You've really got to look to see. Okay, that looks like an opening, and we should see. I mean, I looked at Mexico a little bit with that, and I saw if they win the group, they should get favorable round of 32, and then the round of 16, they may get England, and they could play that game in Mexico. I'm like, boom, maybe that's a team that you look into. But the 48 team World Cup makes it very difficult to get a fair shake. And when you could win your group, you open your eyes and you go, oh my God, are we playing them in the round of 32?
Right.
That stinks. So
right.
If I'm Japan, I get pissed off. And both those games, by the way, so the Group F runner-up, that game will be in Houston, so that would be where Japan goes. But the Group C runner-up would play the winner of Group F, so if that's Morocco, and then that would be in Monterrey. So that's the locations of where they'd be as well.
Now,
Wow.
Max.
I mean, those are amazing games at that early of a tournament. I think that's the sweet spot, though. As much as you feel bad for those countries, if you have a round of 32 game and it's Morocco versus the Netherlands, and then that feels like a quarterfinal, and you get that around 30. That's the bonus. So that round of 32, just based on this conversation, like, okay, you got to be patient, but once you get there, you're gonna be like, all right, this is good. I can sign up for this.
Now, Max Burritos, legendary world football announcer, is our guest. Max, give me your best player in the World Cup, and if it's not Kylian Mbappe, I got a lot of questions.
I had my doubts about Kylian Mbappe. He had a bad end of the year, and or like last year, it was like he came off the boil a bit.
Vinicius and Rodrigo, they couldn't figure that out, partner.
They couldn't figure it out, but
it seems like this year they got it under control.
Yeah, and then there's no player that wows you like Kylian Mbappe. The thing is, what helps him too is that he is on a national team that is just out of this world. Ekitike, who starts for Liverpool, I mean, he can't even make that French team. He's like the 7th best forward, and he starts for Liverpool. Yes. So Kylian Mbappe is the embarrassment of riches, but you need that star guy to hammer it down. You need those guys who's going to put you over the line, and Kylian Mbappe is developed into that player. If there's fine margins between the first 10 players, I mean, we've moved from that era of is it Messi or Ronaldo? Messi. Right. Eventually, Father Time catches up with all of us. It's caught up with those guys. It's amazing they're still going at this level. They're both phenomenal. Lionel Messi just coming off an incredible year with Major League Soccer, where he was so productive and played so many games. But Kylian Mbappe, who was the heir apparent, is the guy. The crazy thing is the guy who knocks him off there is probably going to be another Frenchman, whether it's Desiree Doué or whomever else comes through there as the next big thing. But the sport feels like it's in very good hands.
Now, Max, I wanted to talk a little bit about Brazil because if you ask me, France, Argentina, Portugal, England, those are probably my top picks. I know you're big on Spain. Let's throw Spain in there. I mean, Brazil's probably, I don't want to say an afterthought because of, the great teams in 2002 and what they've been able to do. But, partner, the lasting image I have of Brazil right now, the Copa America where they lost, and that Bruno Guimaraes crying his eyes out after he missed the penalty back in 2022. What is it still for Brazil, win it all or bust? Where are you at with this Brazilian national team? In my opinion, is right up there with France as one of the deeper teams when it comes to talent.
They're a conundrum because they have fallen off. They don't feel like a team that can win the World Cup. I go back to 2014 when they lost to Germany. They've never been the same since. They've had to kind of go through the Neymar era, and they're trying to figure out. You look at the lineup, and it doesn't make any sense. But it is still Brazil. But if
we lose Max there,
did we lose Max, Steve?
We're working on getting Max Bretos back. The play-by-play
right now because they've let them down so often. So I think with Brazil, it's a possibility, but somebody's going to have to step up to become that star player. Like we said, I have my eye on Esteval.
Yeah,
he's starting to play
Chelsea
more often,
man. Love
and
it.
He's so young, but he feels like a guy that could be that breakthrough star in this World Cup. And if he gets goals, then Brazil have a chance. But Carlo Ancelotti is really the big star there. They brought him in there, and I think that's a guy, a new perspective, a guy which will, based on his Real Madrid days, let the players determine, give them some freedoms. I think it might work. I would love to see. We need Brazil to be as big bad Brazil like in years past.
Now, Max, to close out the World Cup here before we shift actually to the MLS really quick to get your thoughts. We appreciate you giving us the time here on a Friday like this. But, all right, you talked about who you're sort of worried about or who you sort of have confidence in. All right, declaration December 5th, about 6 months in advance. Do we lose, Max? Max is back with us. Max, make a declaration right now. 6 months.
Sorry about that.
All good, partner.
I was
Who are you looking at?
I was talking to myself, but I was talking about I don't think Brazil will do it, but keep an eye on Esteval and Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah.
No, we
could
got-
be
no,
the
We
right.
got that part.
Okay,
I
good.
actually
Got it,
chimed
right.
in. I said the
Right.
young Chelsea, 18-year-old Chelsea man who's been their
Good
ice
man.
man,
we
at the end of the game.
We got the Brazil stuff. Now, Max, to close this out, I wanted to get your perspective. Now you talked about who you're worried about, who you have confidence in. December 5th declaration, who do you got winning the World Cup, and who do you think will be that sort of runner-up level, get to the final?
Man, I would like to stay
Lasso
away
of
from.
truth.
I would like to stay away from predictions. But you know what? I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to win it. But you know a team that's been hovering around doing great things, and they're still providing a big conveyor belt of great stars, and they have an exciting new coach. I'm playing a little quiz time. Do you know who that is? Who I would like to lean it to?
I'm going to guess
They
England.
play with three.
I'm going
Correct.
to guess England. With
They
Thomas
keep
Tuchel.
making.
You think
Yeah.
England's going to win the World Cup on
It's the
our
first
grounds?
time since
think-
the 60s.
On our grounds?
Oh my God! If you put it,
this a
put it that
joke?
way. But their talent is so good, and they're always there at the end. The last World Cup, Harry Kane hits a penalty. They beat France in extra time, I think.
know.
And then you see them getting to 2 Euro finals. They're always there, so they know how to navigate it. They got the goal scorer, and and Harry Kane. They've surrounded with just they had so many good players.
It's a spoil
And it
the
pains
riches.
me.
Max, it's a spoil the riches.
Dude.
They should have won the last 15, 20 years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
they
but
haven't.
it's different. This team is different. We
Yeah.
overhyped them because of Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, because we love them and we saw them all the time.
Right.
This group is different, and they're coming out of every direction. Good stars playing everywhere.
To that point, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, they have a spoil riches on the bench. You could bring Marcus Rashford, who's back in the form of Barcelona. All right, Max, last thing here, promise. MLS Cup, we're home of Inter Miami. It's a 2 p.m. coverage start. I'll come on with the pregame. I mean, they're going to win 50-0, right? They've won their last 3 games by a differential of 13-1. I expect this to be about 4-0 in South Florida coming up tomorrow.
You know what?
Listen, I love Burrow-Halter. I love Vancouver.
Don't say it.
They've
I
been,
know
yeah,
he's
but
thinking
don't,
about it.
the
Don't
Max,
say
are
it.
you going
Are
to do
you
this
kidding me?
on the
He's
home
gonna
of
go-
Miami
he's
Radio
gonna go,
Network?
England's going to win the World Cup, and then
No,
Miami's
no.
going to
I mean,
blow
Jay
the MLS
Thomas,
Cup.
old Bones
This is
Thomas.
classic Max.
Old
Wow.
Max, old Bones Thomas Mueller. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
I also want to add, I grew up in Miami. I went to Coral Gables High, Miami-Dade Community College, it was known. So those are my
man.
peeps. My mom lives down there. I love it. But Vancouver's going to win tomorrow. They are a better team.
God.
Dude, I have no affiliation with Vancouver. They have been phenomenal. So was Inter Miami. But they're phenomenal. I'm just telling you.
13-1, Max. They're scoring. Tadio Allende's got 8 goals in 5 matches. Messi's got 6 in 5 matches.
Listen,
What's a friendly bet? My producer, by the way, my producer, Damian Perez, is ready to jump through the mic. Damian, do you want a friendly bet? Damian, chime in. You want a friendly bet with Max?
Yeah, let's
you-
do it.
Oh, boy, Damian's hot. Listen, why would
What
I
do you
pick
got?
England and Vancouver? I got no horse in the race here. I'm just trying to be
sounds like you
sensible
wanna
with
say-
it.
Sounds like you do.
England's going to plant the flag at MetLife, and then all of a sudden Vancouver's going to beat them tomorrow.
All right.
Wow.
How about this? You got to, if Vancouver doesn't win, if Miami wins, you got to come down here in studio. You got to
Fair
come
enough.
down and see us in
And
studio.
I
And
will. And if
what
I,
do you want
if-
from us? What do you want from us?
I want like some vaca frita or something from a Cuban thing. Because we don't get any Cuban food here in LA.
actually, Max, we have Mas Plus by Messi. I could send you a few bottles.
I don't
about
drink that
that?
energy
We
stuff.
got sports-
I'm
we
too
got
old.
sports
I'm
drinks.
too old to drink the sports drinks. It gives my heart a little skip of a
You'll
beat.
love it. You'll love
It's
it.
like Gatorade. It's like, come on. It's got no sugar. It's 0 sugar. That's what
This
you
is what
said.
you guys-
1 gram of cane sugar. The real
This
stuff.
is what you guys had a couple of those mass pluses, and now you went next
Yeah.
level into
Yeah.
the World Cup draw. This is what happened earlier today.
Vancouver and England. Max, we got to let you go. Thank you so much, partner. I really appreciate it. All
Max,
right.
we appreciate it. Looking forward to talking again soon. We'll get you closer as we get closer to this tournament again, but sometime, all right?
All right, hey Mike, Colin, you guys have a great show, and I appreciate being on. You do a great job. That part of the world is very well served. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Max.
Appreciate it. That's
Appreciate
Max
it, mate.
Brantos, the voice of MLS on Apple TV, does extensive coverage on Fox and ESPN in his past. He's a guy who knows world football like no other. The Soccer OG on YouTube. Check it out today. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. We'll do a little Blitz the book on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, group stage is out. College football championship weekend and the conferences are out this week, and we got the NFL this week. Put together a parlay on the Hard Rock Bet app.
Well, I'll tell you what, Colin's already parlaying games that are happening 6 months from now with the Indiana spread line.
I'll do BYU, Indiana, parlay that with the United States win the World Cup.
Correct. While I, on the other side, as a Buckeye alum, I'm taking the mighty Buckeyes to win their first Big Ten championships in 2020. But that's our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. For all my snowbirds down here that are new to the area, it's the only legal sports book. Download it today. Deposit $5. If you win said bet, if you win the $5 bet, you'll get $150 in bonus bets. Keyword win. So make sure you find your lock. Check out the 100 where you get boosted odds. Every single time one of those boosted odds picks gets taken 100 times, the next one is what you're going to be looking for. So that's why they call it the 100. Once 100 people take that specific boosted bet, you get another one. Conference championship weekend. Take all those future bets we've been talking about with world football. And also, folks, huge NFL slate. I got my eye on the Bears and the Packers. Download the app today on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're concerned about gambling, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Let's blitz the book really quick with Hard Rock Bet.
Send some heat. Pin your ears back. It's time to blitz the book. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Let's parlay the major games this weekend. One I'll sell you on, North Texas.
Fine.
You haven't heard a thing about their coach. You haven't heard any of the rah-rah. He's not doing the gator chomp out of the private jet like John Summerall. North Texas here. You like that?
I like that. Give me Ohio State 4.5. I know you're going to kick yourself for that one, but
Fine.
Buckeyes 4.5.
Duke plus 3.5.
I root for a good game.
Duke plus 3.5, and Georgia or Alabama. Georgia's favored by 1.5.
Bama, they own them.
I agree with that. That's 4-bet parlay. That's quick. Plus 1,200 right there. North Texas minus 1.5. Ohio State minus 4.5. And Duke plus 3.5. And then finishing off with Alabama plus 1.5. Listen to Inter Miami right here on ESPN 106.3 tomorrow at 2:30 at the MLS Cup final against Vancouver, which Vancouver's allegedly going to lose, according to Max Barreto.
No, going to win. He said Vancouver.
Oh, going to win. Excuse me. Inter Miami's going to lose.
By the way, yeah, Max Bretos, play-by-play announcer for the season pass. How about that? Comes on our station and predicts a Vancouver win. Damien almost jumped through the window.
I was more offended by England.
Me too. On United States ground.
Give me a break. In New York, give me a break. It's not going to happen.
Remember the Battle of Yorktown, buddy.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. They've lost there before. They're going to lose again. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, and Damian Prez, Russo and Rizzo, send you into your weekend. See you next time. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and when it comes to the NBA, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I want it all.